Run!
Nearly 300 runners and walkers turned out last August to take part in the Tour de Force charity run held at Point Au Roche. The charity run is dedicated to police and corrections officers killed in the line of duty, and members of law enforcement are on hand to give out the medals to participants. This year's race, the 5th annual Tour de Force charity run, is being held next Sunday, August 18th, at Mooney Bay Marina in Point Au Roche. And Tom Brown, the organizer of the Tour de Force charity run, joins us. Welcome. It's nice to see you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Also with us today is Garrett Macy. You are with the Security and Law Enforcement Academy at CV Tech, and you're also going to be volunteering at the charity run. Good to see you. Thank you for being here with us as well. Tom, give us a little more history about this event. How did this all come about?
The Tour de Force was started in 2002 by NYPD officer Robert DePaulis. And to honor the victims of the terrorist attack of 2001, him and 7 other bicyclists got together and rode from the Pentagon to Ground Zero the following year in 2002.
And has that continued? Is that not from the Pentagon to New York, but has the bicycle part of that continued?
Yes, it continues every year with a different segment. This year we're going from Yankee Stadium to Fenway Park to celebrate the lives of police officers killed in line of duty nationwide.
And here in the North Country, this will be the 5th year now for the half marathon, 5 and 10K.
Yeah, and the 1 mile walk.
And the 1 mile walk. So you get both runners and walkers participating.
Yes.
This is going to be held on
August 18th.
August 18th. So next weekend, next Sunday, August 18th. And bright and early, the race starts at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, it starts at 8 at Mooney Bay Marina in Plattsburgh, New York.
Now, last year, you had nearly 300?
Yes, 284 runners, I think.
And you had law enforcement there to greet them at the finish line. You had a number of dignitaries, and Billy Jones was there, also Mayor Colin Reed, but you also had top law enforcement officers from around the North Country. Sheriff Dave Fabro, Kevin Mulverhill from Franklin County, Richard Cutting from Essex County, John Tibbetts, a former commander of Troop B in Raybrook, and now an inspector down in Albany. So that was a nice touch to have them greeting the runners and walkers at the finish line.
Yeah, they've been nice enough over the last 5 years to come to my event once we established ourselves as a legitimate race in the North Country. And this year, Sheriff Reynolds is coming up from Essex.
David Reynolds is the new sheriff in Essex County, so he's going to be coming up and participating. And again, the sheriffs from Franklin and Clinton County also.
Yep, Sheriff Favreau will be there, and also Sheriff Mulverhill.
Now, every year this is dedicated to and to remember fallen police officers and corrections officers.
Yes, sir.
And this year, who are the police officers and corrections officers being remembered?
Okay, NYPD officers Joseph Piagentini and Waverly Jones are the 2 that are honored this year for the New York City Police Department. Trooper Nicholas Clark, who died last year on July 2nd, 2018, and Sergeant Edward Cunningham, who died on September 13th, 1971 of the Attica Prison Riot.
He was one of 7 corrections officers killed in that 4-day riot and uprising that was one of the worst in New York State and certainly one of the nation. You will have law enforcement officers there representing them, but also some family members are coming for Sergeant Cunningham.
Yeah, last year I put something out at the Peru Oktoberfest, a brochure saying I was highlighting Sergeant Cunningham as one of my honorees, and one of his sons got a hold of me and said they were going to come up to the event. He wanted to know if it was a real thing. So his family members are coming up. I think there's about 6 of them right now are coming up from the Attica area.
So they lived right out in the Attica area, and it's been a long tradition for Sergeant Cunningham's family. His sons and now grandsons work in corrections, and a number of them work right at Attica.
Yeah, both of his sons I talked to. Mark, I think the other one's name is Tom. They're both retired sergeants from Attica, and one of their other, I think it's Mark's kid, Jesse, is a CO still at Attica Correctional Facility.
What does this mean to them? Have they told you what this means to them for this tribute, this event honoring their father all these years later?
Well, it's been a long time since things passed, since 1971, but, just talking to them, they seem to be excited about it, and they seem to, they want to come up and participate in it.
So you get a lot of help putting this together and pulling this off. And Garrett is here with you, Garrett Macy. You are with the Security and Law Enforcement Academy at CV Tech, as we mentioned at the top of the interview. And you're volunteering this year at the race?
Yes, sir, I am.
And why did you decide to participate and volunteer?
I decided to participate in this because I think it's a great cause, help out the community. My dad always told me to help out anybody that needs help, so I threw my hat in the ring.
And Tom, having people like Garrett, that's key. You have a number of the students that are there and really help out with security, help out with traffic, help out with everything that you need to pull off a half marathon, which can be daunting when you've got people running the back roads of Beekmantown and Shazy and Plattsburgh.
Daunting at times, but it's a good feeling when it's all over with. These guys really helped me out a lot this year, and it's good to see the younger generation coming to replace the people that are in law enforcement now and see how they're going about it. And the program he's in at CV Tech is definitely a good program, and I encourage people to get involved in it.
Tom, why did you decide to hold this race 5 years ago? What started it?
I used to run Boston's Run to Remember every year. It's a half marathon that honors police officers killed in Massachusetts, and I was scheduled to go down in 2013. The race I was in was a half marathon. It was at the end of May, and that same year in April, the Boston Marathon bombing happened. So I was talking to my wife, and she says, "We're not going to Boston." And 6 weeks after that, so we had a little discussion, and 6 weeks later, we were in Boston, and that's how I got started.
You decided, I want to do the same thing in the North Country.
There's a local retired trooper, Bob Cronin, who was heavy in the tour de force in this area. And I got involved that first year. I didn't get involved with Bob groups right away, the Adirondack Garda, but that first year I raised money for Trooper Sean Collier for the tour de force charity itself. And I was the highest fundraiser. I think I raised $2,000 that year for Sean Collier. The head of the charity emailed Bob and says, "Hey, you better get a hold of this guy. He might be an asset or whatever to your cause." So he did, and I've been consistently raising over $6,000 a year since then. And so every year, people like myself, retired Trooper Cronin, and a bunch of our members on the Adirondack Garda raise money. And that money all goes towards the families of police officers killed in the line of duty nationwide. It's not just a local thing, it's nationwide.
Again, you had nearly 300 people last year. You're hoping to have almost as many this year?
I'm hoping. It's a hard though. There's so many competitive races around here. So it's hard to get. We're trying to get out and into the state of Vermont to see if we can get some people over there. I got a St. Albans police lieutenant coming over from Vermont in a couple weeks, and we're starting to spread the word, but it takes time like anything else.
And while it's great that they're participating and raising money for the cause, an important part of this is the ceremony in the morning when you have law enforcement there, when they pay their respects to these officers killed in the line of duty.
Yeah, it can be pretty emotional. I know 6 weeks after the Boston bombings, I ran by MIT where police officer Sean Collier was killed, and there was probably 30 troop cars out there in Massachusetts, troop cars all saluting us as we ran by. So that was a pretty emotional experience when you're running.
Is there still time to sign up if folks want to run or walk?
Yeah, they can walk the 1 mile walk. They can actually run or walk the 5K and the 10K. And the online registration closes on August 14th at midnight. And we only have so many shirts we can give away that I've ordered. And they can still register on race day between 6 and 7:30 in the morning at Mooney Bay Marina.
Right there at the site.
Yeah.
So through August 14th, they still have a few more days. They can
Online,
sign up online and then on the site the day of the action.
All they have to do is Google Tour de Force Charity Run, and it'll pop up, and just sign up.
Thank you, Tom. Garrett, thank you very much. We hope you have a great success, a great day, and thanks a lot for coming by.